It was the case that for many summed up the dysfunction of America's gun laws and depth of its racial divide. Trayvon Martin, 17, African-American, unarmed, was shot as he walked through the Florida gated community in which he was staying. The acquittal of George Zimmerman, the head of the community's neighbourhood watch, who'd claimed self-defence, caused uproar.
Shut it down! Zimmerman's free! Shut it down!
The verdict sparked nationwide protests, and at the forefront of those, always Trayvon's parents, Tracy Martin and Sabrina Fulton, who've spoken out about gun violence and criminal justice reform. I met them both and began by asking Tracy how quickly his son's death became caught up in America's racial politics.
It became a racial issue fairly quick. Just looking at a lot of things on social media even before the arrest, and how people had their own perception, and how the country started getting divided over this incident. And what was amazing was the fact that through all of this, we had a dead 17-year-old on the ground, and then you had supporters of the killer of our son raising money for him just because it was a young African-American man that had been shot and killed. And so it definitely took a racial turn that divided the country.
One of the things that happened in the aftermath was the emergence of the Black Lives Matter movement, wasn't it?
It came to fruition after Trayvon's death, and that was attributed to African Americans just being tired of being on the short end of the stick.
How do you think you push it forward now? Because you're campaigning, and we see that even President Obama, with all the things that happened, from Trayvon to Sandy Hook to all the other things, couldn't bring about a big change in the gun culture of this country. So how do you convince people, Sabrina, that this is not a hopeless struggle, that there is something worth fighting for here?
I mean, our kids are our future. So we have to have some type of hope, and we can't just give up and say, okay, well, that's the way this country is, and we're just going to leave it just like it is. You know, we got to do the best that we can to try to make positive change.
Tracy, I mean, you, like the rest of us, are watching the TV over the past year. What do you make of the Trump phenomenon, the election of this president?
Watching everything that's been going on over the past years, it amazes me that you can say or do just about anything you want to do and then become the leader of a free world. And that just goes to show the mindset of this country, the division in this country, and it doesn't speak to reality, because this isn't supposed to be a dictatorship. This is supposed to be equal rights community. It's supposed to be that we're all the same, and I just don't think with this administration so far, with the things that they're doing, they're proving that to be true.
I think that we did take a few steps back. I think even though we came a long way as far as race and guns and education and everything, I think right now we have taken a few steps back.